Welcome back to Good Day Columbia. So as we all know, budgets for cities and municipalities and towns are getting tighter and tighter every single day, which of course raises the question, where can we squeeze the extra money? You know, think of the bus service here in town, think of schools. Well, in Jefferson County, Colorado, they've come up with a unique way to maybe raise some revenue, and that is to sell advertising on report cards that parents get for the school district.
It's an interesting concept.
The Jefferson County Public Schools have put together a deal with College Invest and College Savings Plans. $90,000 is what they actually can raise over 3 years from this advertisement campaign. So 90 grand they're going to raise, and you know all it's going to be is an advertisement. And in fact, it's going to be a small little ad. In fact, it is a 2-inch itty bitty ad on a report card. That's where they get the money. So the question is, you know, is this a good idea, or is it kind of mixing worlds to be advertising to parents?
But don't we always see, I mean, we see advertisement everywhere now. I mean, even here, you know, you mentioned the transit system in the city of Columbia. That's been one of the suggestions on, you know, keeping the buses rolling is throw an ad on there, you know, sell some ad space to advertisers to get that money for the sputtering bus system.
And especially since
I mean, everyone is doing it.
Right, and especially since parents are seeing the report cards, you would hope, unless if, you know, the student is hiding the report card of the child from their parent. But, you
Which
know,
I used to do, by the way, but that's a whole different discussion.
Did you write in a little line over the F for the A as well?
The F for the
No,
yeah.
Sidebar for just a minute. I used to pull my drawer out and I'd hide it. And it was one time for about 6 months, my dad, and he let me lie to him for 6 months. Haven't seen it, Dad? Well, my best friend Greg Hewitt, who lived next door, he got his. Anyway, but I digress.
Gotcha.
You digress.
And so, you know, it is a way because certain parents, like, you know, let's say if you're looking at little Johnny or Brandon's report card, and then afterwards you're like, oh, wow, we have to get our home remodeled. Check this out, remodeling home cabinets or so. And that could be a way to, you know, prick parents' interest, because especially parents may be really, really busy.
Right.
And what if that might be their only way besides social media?
That's it. I mean,
let me ask you this, Janet. What if you say okay, sure, that's a good idea, let's do it. Should there be specific guidelines as to what can be advertised? I mean, you're not going to advertise certain services, maybe.
Obviously.
Should there be guidelines? But should that be a state mandate?
As long
why
I
not?
would think,
I mean, why wouldn't it? Why not?
and
I mean,
especially since it's falling under education.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it should be something related to education. I mean, you know, if there's a, I don't know, like a college or like a Midlands Tech or something, you know, advertising
College
on
Invest
there,
is what
or,
Jefferson County's doing.
I mean, that would be the most liable thing.
Different than, say, Lowe's or something,
right?
You know, random advertisement.
I mean, that's just my thoughts. But I mean, any kind of way to, I guess, generate that revenue and not have to squeeze more state dollars, why not?
Sure.
And I think since you mentioned about the Lowe's, as long as it's really clean, you know what I mean? Like, especially if it's education, you could talk about, you know, being educational, but then eventually, let's say if other folks start picking up on it, other businesses that are clean and not, you know,
where you draw the line.
Right.
Well, we want to know what your thoughts are about this. Is putting advertising on report cards a creative way to generate revenue, or is it going a little bit too far? Now, Hannah Warren posting this to our Facebook page. I suppose it wouldn't be much more different than advertising in programs for school sporting events. Good point. As long as it isn't anything like alcohol or tobacco and is tasteful, then that would be an acceptable way for our struggling schools to help offset debts.
Jason Anchorman also posting they've been advertising on report card covers for almost 20 years, at least in Lexington Richland 5. That's according to him. As long as the advertising is appropriate, I don't see a problem.
And Steve Cunningham posting on our Facebook wall, generate revenue to waste. Well, wasn't the lottery a revenue builder? Can't gamble on your own, but if the money's going to the government, gambling is okay. That's a great question. You know what? Can't gamble, but they can. That's not quite fair. Remember, we want to hear from you what you think. You can post your comments right on our Facebook page. You can log on to facebook.com/WatchFox or even tweet us. Hashtag WACHGDC. We'd love for you to sound off what you think about.
Join the conversation here with us, what you think about it.
And there's other great comments as well. We may even read them here on the air for you. A lot of great comments, a lot of great discussion about ways to raise that money. And the buses is one of the big things. I mean,
right here.
They're struggling. Every city in the world I can think of, you have ads on the sides of
everywhere.
buses.
I mean, you see it all the time. You know, if you go to bigger cities too.
Taxi cabs are privately owned. They're smart enough to put ads. That's extra revenue for those guys riding around with those ads.
And even on the top of their little call letters, but the name of the taxis on top of it, you see some ads on there as well.
There you go. Interesting stuff. Make sure to check it out. Log in and weigh your opinion in for us, please.